multiple times where there's like a turnover or a bad shot, and people wouldn't get back on defense.
Sluggish on response, yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm not gonna lie, not picking on nobody. I'm not gonna lie. When the starting 5 was in, like when we started, the bench was dead. Nobody was saying that. No energy.
No defense.
We literally did defense on the first 10 possessions. First 10 possessions we did defense.
We were talking the whole time. Yes, me and Owen was literally talking the whole game.
Bro, just take out one of those outs.
How about y'all go out there and execute? Maybe we will take it up.
It starts with our energy.
It starts with y'all, exactly.
Our energy, the team.
Hey, we gonna fix it today. Right? No, other team right now.
It starts in warm-up.
Okay, so we got to something there with the energy. What was the second part you said? So you said a positive was the energy. The improvement was what? Execution. Offensive, defensive, just across the board.
Mainly defense.
Mainly defensive.
We didn't go over it. Yeah, we didn't go over execution.
We're not going to use
It wasn't on you're not there in the starting five. No, not there.
Not using excuses. That was our first time playing together, like versus somebody else. But you know, us as basketball players, we all know.
Hey, y'all, listen. This is exactly why we do it, right? This is good. Keep going.
Us as basketball players, we know what we should do, so we can't really fall on the excuse of we didn't know or this and that. But now that we do know, because we already went to the practices, there's no excuses tonight.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's good. I just talked to Coach Travis really quick, and we talked about Friday night, and he mentioned the defense, and he took accountability for not going over that with y'all. But at the same time, he said that, especially the seniors, it was a bit of an assumption that you guys would take accountability for it. So the good news is, as a third party, an outsider, if you will, to a degree, is I'm hearing immediate accountability on both sides, right? Extreme ownership is a really, really important concept for teams to have, okay? The minute you start pointing fingers, you place some blame on anybody else other than yourself, now you've got problems, right? And so immediately, I asked one question, you guys got right into good answers, but taking accountability is really huge. Keep that mindset. It's easy, again, to point fingers and place blame on other people. It's going to happen. We're all human. But you got to filter that out, right? And go, what could I have done better, right? Just come back to that over and over again. What could I have done better? How can I get better? How can I improve, right? With this we mindset at the same time, okay? Because I want to get better for the group, not for me, right? And that's the tricky game and the tightrope we have to walk. It's got to be me centered in terms of how do I improve, but who am I improving for? Is it just for me? Because if it's just for you, you're playing the wrong sport, right? I'm talking to a team, right? I'm not talking to an individual sport. So it's got to be for we. It's got to be for us, okay? You said you wanted to say something about Friday night, right?
How was it disciplined? We weren't disciplined on defense. Foul, but all that starts in practice.
Okay, so let's dissect this a little bit. I know little to nothing.
You don't have a choice to foul in practice? That's what you just said? You don't have a choice to foul in practice. Okay, Josh. You're right.
Man, have a choice to do anything you want to do.
Hey, he's catching on already.
No, but honestly, we really don't have a choice.
We don't have to follow practice. If we don't play to a certain standard, we're called soft.
All right, so can we get to the root of, let's just say, maybe lack of energy,
Lack of talking.
lack of communication? Can we get to the root of that? Because it was scrimmage number one, right? Number one. Yes, against somebody else. That was the first scrimmage, right? On the road, going to North Charleston. Can we look back at it now and ask ourselves why? What might that have been about? Why did we lack energy? Because it's the first scrimmage, right? There should have been some kind of level of intensity and excitement there, and yet it wasn't there. What might that be about? Because I can take a guess, a pretty easy one.
I
But
do my job, I guess, to start off. We can start off talking. So I guess I'm doing that enough. So, I'm not saying I have to start it, but if that's what our team is used to, if that's what our team needs. Everybody has a certain role in this team. If I didn't do my role, it's done with it.
okay, so it's good for you, again, to take accountability because you identify that's your style and that's the way you play and that's your personality. I've picked up on that immediately from the very first session with you, all right? You will talk. You're not afraid to talk. Is everyone sitting here right now just a big talker? Wants to talk it up, chat it up? Is everybody here a vocal leader? No, not at all, right? And so that's what we have to be careful with. I just dealt with this with volleyball. With volleyball, the constant thing was like, oh, we got to talk more. We got to cheer each other on more. I'm like, we don't have to be cheerleaders, right? You don't have to talk just to bring the energy. You got to sometimes manifest it on your own. But let me ask you this. Did the environment, did the opponent, again, I wasn't there, but I'm just taking a wild guess. Did the environment play a part in the lack of energy on a Friday night, right? That's called being human, right? There's nothing wrong with that, but it's also called being a teenager, okay? And one of the hardest things about high school sports is y'all are so impacted by the environment. If it's a big game at a big crowd at your place or on the road and there's a story behind it, no problem showing up with energy. Everybody's got it, right? Maybe too much, maybe some nervous energy. North Charleston on a Friday night in a scrimmage.
You played down to the competition.
Right.
Right.
And so that kind of leads me into what I will constantly emphasize with you guys, and this is the concept of a process, right? It's the concept of storytelling. You guys told a story of, oh, this is North Charleston, this is a scrimmage, this is a ho-hum Friday night, right? When really, the elite, the best, the champions, they treat every single competition and practice like it is the championship, right? Like it is the state championship. Now, is it really? Of course not, right? But that's something you have to check and you have to ask yourself. Going into tonight, are you playing for the state championship tonight? No. But why not pretend? Why not assume? Why not bring that intensity? Because if you practice that over and over again, when we do get to where we're going, right, which is the state championship on what, March 5th, I think it is, or 6th? March 5th, right, in Florence. When we do get there, it's deja vu, right? There's no extra stories and nerves and too much energy because it's been your mindset day in and day out, right? So it's good you notice it. You're going to be impacted by the environment constantly, right? And you guys, if you're a returner, you've played in this region, right? Are there not some snooze fest games throughout the season? Right, there's some sleepy games. You're going to play some teams that just aren't very good, right? And you can show up and play one-handed and you're still going to win. Those are the hardest games to play all year, right? Mark those on your calendar. And then the quote-unquote big ones, that'll take care of itself. You don't have to do anything special or extra for those. But how good can you do the boring, right? Those games are boring. How well can you do that? Practice can get really boring. It's practice season, right? And with each passing practice, it gets more and more boring, right? You're just ready to start playing games. Champions, again, win and emphasize the boring, okay? So keep that in mind as well. All right, so last week, gave a little intro, okay? Intro to me, got some intro to you. Talked about what mental performance is. We established that this game is at least 15% minimum, right? At least. That was as low as we went. Okay, we got as high as 80% mental performance basketball. That's it right there, okay? And we've kind of agreed, I think, established that we're not spending 15% of our time on the mental game, right? But that's why I'm here again, to help you improve on that, okay? And essentially, hopefully last week we established why I'm here, all right? You guys are good, all right? But good's not good enough, right? Tired of being good. Let's take that next step. There's a lot of ways you can take that next step, not just me, but I'm hoping to be a part of that formula this year to get you from good to great, okay? I got a few more questions for you guys to answer and some topics to talk about. So this is a good one and a big one. This kind of goes with the intro here. I want you to write this down, all right? Answer it as a statement. My question to you is, coming back to the what? What is the team goal in 2025? What is the team goal in 2025? So you write down the team goal in 2025 is? Another card? Yeah, go ahead. You got the bag too. Yeah, use the bag. Yep.
You said, what's the question? What's the team goal?
What's the team goal in 2025? First thing that comes to mind.
You said 2025?
Yeah.
Does that include like 2026 at all?
Yes. 25-26. This season. Go for it. JV, you need to answer this question even more because JV, sometimes y'all can wander and be aimless and be like, I don't know.
Yo, stop trouble.
There you go. Stop.
Oh, laugh, they being dead serious.
Try a rep pen.
They being dead serious.
Yeah, put that. What you said?
All right, here we go. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it since we're talking about it. Hey, y'all ready? Y'all ready? Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Dial in. Focus, boys. Going to you first. What's the team goal in 2025? Go. Win state. 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 JV, what's the goal?
Undefeated.
Undefeated. JV, what's the goal? Undefeated. State. Win state. State. JV in the back. Mason, right? Mason. Undefeated. Win state. Win state. Win everything. State. State. Okay. I just called everyone in here, JV included, right? So for JV, it's a unanimous go undefeated. For varsity, it's win state. Probably the easiest question I've asked you so far, right? Other than who are you? Give me the obvious answer. The answer is to win, coach. That's why we play sports, that's why we play basketball, and of course to win a state championship and win everything. Win every game we play in, every tournament we play in, win the region, win lower state, and win state. Some problems with that though, okay? Problem number one is that what you just listed, what everyone just said, that's an outcome-based goal. It's all hinged upon an outcome, a result. And what that means is, do you have total control over the goals you just gave me? Both. Both.
We don't have no control over
Always tell us we control our own destiny.
We don't have control of our own.
We can control the way we play.
We can try, but we can't control it. Theoretically, we can't control
Theoretically, we could get a forfeit for some bullshit reason and get kicked out, and that's not on us. That's not our own destiny.
No, but that would be on us because whatever that
Josh, it's control your own destiny to an extent. The refs could be bad. Something could happen. Our bus could break down and we have to forfeit.
Josh, absolutely, right? And coach tells you that because you've got the caliber of team. All right, listen, I'm going to break it down for you. All right, the judge is going to step in here. Y'all like to debate each other. That's good. You have to have that mindset of, if I put it all on the line, it's achievable, right? Because that can motivate you to a degree. But what you ultimately have to understand is you could play the best basketball of your life night in and night out, and your opponent might do the same. If that opponent's best is just a little better than your best that night, that alone does not guarantee that you get the score you want. Then the millions of variables and factors, including just something as stupid as a referee's call. We've been there before, right? Do refs not impact a game? Of course they do. Does bad luck not play a part in those things? Of course they do, right? There are several variables that come into play there, and so you are hinging your measurement of success based on a goal that you do not have direct control over. The other issue with that goal of winning a state championship, winning in general, it doesn't provide immediate feedback. Can you win the state championship tonight? Tomorrow? Thursday? Next week? March 6th, it's always said 6th? 5th, it's the 6th, is a little ways away, right? A lot to accomplish between now and then. So how motivated are you to win the state championship right now against Georgetown in a scrimmage when state championship months away, after Christmas into a new year? Another problem is let's just say that is your goal, and the closer you get to it, a lot of times with athletes, not everybody, but a lot of times what it can do is it can create more anxiety than it does motivation, right? Just go back to last year. If you were in lower state, things started to feel a little different, right? Because you hinged your success, your value as an individual and a team on not just getting to state, but winning it. When you got down to the very end, for a lot of people, a lot of times the anxiety can increase. And some of you have been like, I felt no anxiety in the lower state, coach. I don't know what you're talking about. That's fine. But then maybe it's in the state championship. Maybe you don't feel that anxiety until it's the last possession and all of a sudden it hits you like a wave, and you're like, oh my God, this play right here determines if we're state champions or not. And the anxiety hits you and the pressure overcomes you because you've told yourself this story that my success is based on a result, an outcome of a basketball game. And the biggest problem with it is if I sat in a gym right now, if I were sitting in here right now with, we'll just say Ridgeview, the team that eliminated you last year, I saw the rankings, the preseason rankings, coaches' rankings from yesterday. So we'll say Dorman is a hot topic, evidently. Burns was another name that showed up. You guys showed up in top 5. Ridgeview, somebody else. Any of those schools. If I sat in those gyms right now, I was talking to that team, and I asked them the same question, what would they say? Probably all going to tell me our goal in 2025, 2026 is to win state. So what makes you any different? Something to think about, right? What makes you any different if that is the goal, okay? I'm going to tell you what has to make you different. And this kind of comes back to the scrimmage and Friday night. It has to be your process, right? Your process is what has to make you different. Your habits, your routines, your priorities, how you do what you do, not what it is that you do. How you go about your business has to make you different from everybody else. Your process goals make you different. Your mindset has to make you different. A growth mindset is what makes you different. Grow, right? It's the motto. At least that's what it says on Instagram, on y'all's Instagram, grow. Right? That's what has to make you different, not this outcome goal, not this result goal. Are you totally wrong for saying that you want to win the state championship? That's the exact thing you should say. That's right. Check. Cool. Got it. But understand that is a results goal. Now let's start to focus on the process goals. What is it you're trying to achieve each and every day to get 1% better at minimum that day? Can you stack those little process goals up one after the other until next thing you know, you look up and you have reached the state championship and you've achieved the outcome goal, the result goal? And that's just on a really big picture, right? But just a game tonight, right? It's a scrimmage against Georgetown. The goal is to win, beat Georgetown, right? That's the duh, right? That's the obvious one. And it's not something that you have to talk about over and over again. Some of the greatest coaches, Nick Saban, of course, legend football coach, we don't talk about winning, right? We talk about the process of winning, what it takes to win, how to win, okay? And so when I asked you guys about Friday night, you gave me a great answer. Doesn't surprise me. Again, everything I've heard about this group, I know that I'm not coming in here to make you guys 70% better. You're already in a pretty good place. I'm trying to make you 1% better. If I ask some teams, how did Friday night go? They tell me the score. We won, coach. My question was how, right? Not what. What was the score? My question wasn't who won. My question was how. You guys immediately went into how we played. It's a good place to be in. That's a good start. That should build your confidence, right? Because ultimately, too, mental performance, the heartbeat of it is making sure we're confident, right? Pretty confident group already. I think that you'll be confident for 95% of the season. But then when we get down to that last 5%, the very top of the mountaintop, which is where I see you, which is where you got to plan to be, Final Four, final 2 teams, the separation is tiny, right? And so how can you separate yourself when you get to that mountaintop, right? It's going to be these things we talk about, your process, your mindset. Can you not get wrapped up in the goal of a state championship when you're playing for a state championship? Because it will swallow you whole. You'll get lost in it. And you'll forget all the preparation, all the work you put in, and all the ways in which you did win basketball games leading up to March 6th, okay? Next question for you. Think about this one, right? We'll talk in a minute. Don't talk, just think. Why are you here? Answer that question. Why are you here? Why are you playing basketball at James Island in the 2025-2026 season? Why? Write it down. You might have to think about this one for a minute. That's the point, right? This one's a little harder than the last one. Maybe. For some of you, you might know immediately. Why do I play basketball? Why here? Some of you have chosen to come here, change schools. Some of you could go somewhere else. You stay here. What's your why? Anybody want to talk about it a little bit? Give me your why. Let me say this before you give me your answer. The whole theme of these first 2 sessions has been about questions, the basics. Who, what, when, where, why, how. We're covering all now, almost. The 2 most important questions that you have to constantly ask day in and day out while you're here and you clock in and you go to work, whether it's practice, scrimmage, game, the weight room with me, the classroom. Why do you do what you do, and how do you do it? Keep coming back to those 2. Why do I do what I do, and how do I do it? What is your why? Anybody want to share? Tell me your name again. Tell me your name again. Malachi. Because it's fun? Change the scenery?
So like, what's my, I want to say, the chances of like have a higher chance of good.
Okay. Trying to play at the next level. Get to the next level. All right? That's good motivation. Okay. Malachi, I want to come back to you. What's fun about basketball? Competing. Yeah. Competing with your teammates, and then ultimately somebody from another school, right? Okay. Jeremiah, you gonna say something? What's your why? Get to the next level. Okay.
I'm not going to say something real quick.
Go for it.
He says he shits on us, but I beat him 11-1 yesterday, actually.
Noted. So what's your why?
Oh, my why? I'm here. I'm at James Island because my brother went here. And then I'm in the basketball program because I just like to play basketball. Let's go, bro.
Okay. Sounds like a good mission, right? And I bet if Coach was sitting here with me right now, he'd agree with that. I know in the baseball program, our mission statement isn't to see how many state championships we can win. That's just been an accident, a product of our process and how we go about things. Our mission is to turn boys into men, right? Understand that by signing up to play basketball, especially here at James Island with this coaching staff, you're signing up to become a better person, right? When you wrote down your why, did it do anything for you? Did you feel anything when you wrote it down? Good. That's the hope, and that's the goal. If it didn't, and I know there's a few of you here that it didn't, you need to think about that, and that's why I bring it up, right? Why do you come here day in and day out? Why do you put in this work, sacrifice this time? You could be doing a lot of other things, right? Why are you choosing to play a sport at all? Why are you choosing to play basketball at a high level in a good program that I know works very hard, right? There's a lot of things you got to do to play basketball here that you don't want to do and you don't like. Why do you do it, right? You have to come back to that over and over again, okay? Your why also needs to be bigger than you. A lot of you said, and there's nothing wrong with it, but a lot of you said playing at the next level. Good. That's even a further out goal. Beautiful. Set it. Go for it. But don't get lost in it, right? High schoolers do that a lot. They miss their whole high school career because they're so consumed with playing at the next level. And I hope, like hell right now, there's some people sitting here that get to play at the next level and then some. And it's better than their high school experience. And they're better in college than they were in high school. And they're better as pros than they were in college. But in my experience, most athletes, high school is as good as it gets. Even if they get to the next level. Because the next level is a lot harder. And again, don't stop there. Don't sell yourself short. But be careful, right? Always think about what the 25-year-old you is going to say, what the 35-year-old you is going to say. Have conversations with the 50-year-old you who's got a son or a daughter playing basketball. Because this is going to come and go real quick, right? What's your story going to be? Are you even going to remember it? Are you going to be too consumed by, oh, I want to play at the next level, right? Think about that. Don't get lost in that goal too much, okay? It's got to be bigger than you. It's got to be about us. It's got to be about this group, okay? Your why, make it something that moves you, that you feel it, and then tattoo it, all right? Stamp it, save it, download it, make it your compass, okay? Because if you don't, you're going to get lost. If you get lost, if one person gets lost in this group, the chances that we get lost suddenly starts to increase. And ultimately, if we get lost, we don't achieve our goals, right? GROW, GROW. What does that stand for? Goals run on we, right? One individual gets lost, the whole group gets lost. If the whole group gets lost, the whole group fails to achieve some of those goals we just talked about, right? Keep that in mind, okay? All right, I'm going to close with you guys here. If you want to be a champion, you want to be different. That's kind of been the theme the last two sessions. Starts with putting the how and the why before everything else, okay? Before the what, before the who, all right? Start putting the process over the results. The answers you gave today in terms of how the Friday scrimmage went, all right? Great answers. Stick to that. We're going to continue to talk about that. Sometimes I do a journaling method. It's called Well, Better, How, all right? You reflect on the scrimmage. You reflect on a game, all right? You tell me something positive, and then you tell me an area of improvement. Make sure you can always answer that question. If I ask you, if I see you tomorrow, I go, tell me about Georgetown last night, all right? Tell me something positive that happened. Even if you played like absolute dog shit, the team was terrible, you lost, did you at least tie your shoes right? If you can say yes, you did something positive. Because that's the issue with athletes sometimes too. We're too damn hard on ourselves, right? But at the flip side, all right, there's always room for improvement. There's always something you could have done better. You beat the living shit out of them tonight, had the best game of your life and individually. Can you still find something that could have been better about that night? Okay. The AC could have been turned down in the gym. That's the better coach. Always look for something that can be improved. Okay. Last question. All right. Win. That's the one I didn't talk about, right? We didn't talk about win. There is no win. There is no WHEN. Okay. Because there's only one state of mind. There's only one time frame. Any guesses what it is? Now. The present. The only time is now. Okay. Because when the process is the priority, there is no past. There is no future. We just talked about the goal. What's the goal this year? State championship. Okay. So go ahead, pull out your little GPS in your head, all right, and put it in. Florence, South Carolina. It's the Civic Center, right? Florence Civic Center, I think is the name of it. Go. Where is that? USC? That would be even better, right? Go find that out, though, right? Go find that out. I think it's in Florence, but I could be wrong. Do your homework, okay? Where's the state championship? What time? What day? Put it in your calendar, okay? Log it, save it, and don't look at it again and get lost in the process. And the process is how good can I be right now? How present can I be right now for anything and everything that I do, okay? And then next thing you know, you're going to look up, and we're going to be meeting. It'll be session, I don't know, we'll say 20, 25. It's a lot of them, right? And we'll be talking about state championship, right? And we'll be getting ourselves mentally prepared to win a state championship. Sound good?
Yes, sir.
All right, awesome. Pins in the bag right there, please. Oh, and also, talk about the process and doing the little things right. Last session, we set up chairs, we talked. There's about 2-3 dudes left behind to clean up chairs and trash. Championship teams don't do that, right? They pay attention to details in everything they do. So keep that in mind, right? Put all your stuff back, give it back to me. Take care of your space, take care of your business, look after